Hello Star Citizens, BuzZz here, and welcome back to the Broken Moon Orbital Landing Platform. Now we're here in free flight today to check out the Aegis Sabre, which was made flight ready in Alpha 2.2, which is currently on the PTU servers. Now it seems with all new ships, we've been having some issues, and the Sabre is no exception. And I'll show you some of those issues that we're having. But suffice to say, there's enough of those issues that I'm not comfortable giving you a full review of this ship as of yet. That'll have to wait until 2.2 hopefully goes live and they've ironed out some of the issues with the ship. But let's go ahead and get started. We'll start by taking off, and you'll see your first issue with the ship. Look how slow it's moving in takeoff mode. For some reason, anytime you're in landing mode, the ship is limited to 1 meter per second. That's an automated or manual landing anytime you're over a landing pad, so hopefully that'll get addressed. The only way to avoid that is to not use landing mode at all and land illegally. So let's check out some of the animations on the ship, including the landing gear and the new bomb bay. So I'm going to pick the ship up a little bit, and you'll see, watch the forward weapons as well. So that's an interesting little animation. And the reason why that gun has to swing backwards and forward on landing is because if you notice the little square underneath the cockpit there, that's where the ladder is, and the pilot would have to climb over that gun to get in and out. So it swings back out of the way. So a nice little way of getting the guns out of the way, but still having them in a decent firing position when the ship is flying. Here's another really cool animation. Let me rotate so we can get some better light here. Now the ship is billed as a stealth ship, so it's pretty cool that they added some hidden weapons to reduce signature. Very nice. And you can see it has 6 size 2 missiles in there. So really cool animation there. Alright, let's get into first person view and we'll take a little flight here. Here's the second issue. And this is on a lot of ships right now, but you notice the reflections on the canopy. It's very, very reflective. It looks like it's picking up just about everything on the level. And that gets really annoying. The ship's top speed in SCM mode is 260 meters per second. Boost, or afterburner, is 390. And you notice it dropped down to about 75% of fuel just to get up to that speed. So the ship doesn't have a whole lot of boost capacity. And that's fine. I don't mind a few concessions for a faster, nimbler Hornet alternative. Unfortunately, another issue the ship has is its maneuverability. While its yaw axis is actually pretty decent, I'm going to get to where I can maneuver here, away from some of these asteroids. The yaw axis is decent. It's probably on par with a Super Hornet, but that's just how I feel. That's just by feeling. That's not any measurable way. It seems like it's about the same speed. But the pitch axis, I mean, you're watching the forward direction indicator as it returns to center, is very, very slow. So right now, I don't think the ship is where it needs to be maneuverability-wise. But that's balancing. I don't know if that's a bug or not. We'll see. Maybe they'll adjust that before the live release of the ship. Now, the ship, of course, does have 4 weapons. Its default loadout is 2 size 3 fixed laser repeaters on the wings, and then 2 size 2 gimbaled laser repeaters on the side of the cockpit. which is a pretty decent weapon loadout for, well, Vanduul Swarm and dogfighters using joysticks who are not very proficient in keeping on target, because they saturate the area and they don't run out of ammo. So their only issue is, of course, they're not very powerful. But the size 3s aren't bad. And you can actually remove the gimbals and put 4 size 3s on this ship, no problem.
Proximity alert. Head.
So I did get this ship out into the PU for a little while, and the cruise speed on it, here, let me pull up my notes here, because I don't want to lie to you. The cruise speed was 760 meters per second. And that's not bad, especially considering almost all the ships in the game have gotten a nerf to their cruise speed, so that's up there right now. But I think that's about enough of this little test flight. Let's go ahead and take her into some Vanduul Swarm and see how she performs in combat.
Aegis combat assist activated.
And we're back
Systems
into
green.
Dying Star for a little Vanduul Swarm.
Vanduul Swarm initiated.
And I know Vanduul Swarm is not a true test of the ship's capabilities in
There are
combat,
multiple hostiles inbound.
but it gives me at least a little baseline. And eventually maybe I'll start doing some videos where I actually take the ship and do some more comprehensive tests. I don't know, maybe against, say, a Super Hornet and just beat on them. So, see how long it takes them to go pop.
Taking fire.
The first thing I notice here is for 2 sets of repeaters, those pips are pretty far apart. Which I suppose could be a good and a bad thing. If you're not a great shot, you can kind of bracket your target using them. But if you are a good shot, you may want to consider a monoboat, where you put all of the same weapon on this. Of course, those with the slowest firing speed are my most powerful weapons. The Panthers.
Zero hostile contacts remaining.
So pretty decent.
Warning.
Make sure
There
my
are multiple
gimbals are
hostiles
disabled.
inbound.
Now I have switched to a dual joystick setup, and eventually I'll do a video showing how that's done. But in the meantime, if you're interested, check out Legacy instructional series on YouTube. He's part of INN, and he does a set of instructional videos on flights and maneuvering, and one of his latest ones is on setting up a dual joystick setup. And what's interesting is he is able to use some third-party programs. If you notice, my throttle actually works. You see, right now I'm about 50% throttle, and as I speed up, it goes up to 100. But he actually managed to put that on one side of the joystick axis. But I like this setup because my previous setup I had to use pedals, and they get uncomfortable after a while. This is much more comfortable. What's he shooting at? So yeah, the ship does slide quite a bit. Gotta remember to use the yaw axis more. Nice thing about these weapons is they take a long time to overheat.
0 hostile contacts remaining.
Alright, I think this is our third and final wave.
Contact. Elite units en route.
Incoming hostiles.
There's that pitch axis. I really hope they do fix that. One thing we haven't tried out is missiles.
Taking fire. Missile locked.
See if I can see those missiles firing.
Your Aegis
Uh-oh.
Sabre has been revoked.
Well, trying to show off and I got blasted.
Stand by for reintegration.
System over. Aegis combat assist activated. Systems green.
Well, obviously this is no Super Hornet tank.
Contact.
They took me out pretty quick.
I got one on me. Missile locked.
There we go. Notice I'm trying to bracket the target, have one pip further forward and the other one closer to the target.
Elite units eliminated.
Proves my chances of hitting with both at the same time.
Contact. Begin scan.
Warning. There
Oh.
are multiple hostiles inbound.
6 minutes and about 40 seconds. Not bad at all. So let's go ahead and head back to the hangar and I'll give you my not so final impressions. And welcome back to the hangar. So let's talk, as I said, not so final impressions. So the Aegis Sabre is a dedicated dogfighter with some stealth capabilities that is supposed to fall somewhere between the Gladius and the Hornet in firepower and maneuverability. Unfortunately, as I said, the ship is not where it needs to be quite yet. It has some issues, first of which is the maneuverability. I think it needs to be increased, personally. And the other issue I have with the ship is it seems to be quite fragile. Now, I don't know if that Vanduul just got a lucky hit on me somehow or what, but he took me down really, really quick, and that's kind of disconcerting. So, of course, both of those issues are balance issues. And I'm going to give it some time, and hopefully they'll make some changes to the Sabre. They'll balance it, and eventually I'll come back and give you an update video with my actual final impressions. And at the point when it goes on sale again and it goes up onto the rec store, I'll be able to give you one of my Is It Worth It videos as well. So once again, I hope you enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed making it. This ship is actually pretty fun to fly, even in its kind of broken state. So anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like or subscribe button. And until next time, this has been BuzZz Killer, and I'll see you guys in the verse.